Vanakkam! Greetings to all IndianForestService aspirants. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel SYLVA, a ladder to reach canopy. After completing the 4 subjects in the section A and 2 subjects in the section B, now we are entering into the most important and sensitive subject, that is the environment, conservation and biodiversity. Here we are going to cover the important aspects of environment, its conservation and various types of pollution and the various combating strategies to deal with the pollution, and also about the biodiversity, which is one of the most important aspects in the present day scenario. Let us start with the environment and its conservation. What is environment? Environment is nothing but everything surrounded the human being, the physical, biological and chemical resources that surround the human being, which is commonly known as environment. And in detail, the biosphere, the atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. These are the significant components of environment. Why it is so important? The man and nature, they are living closely for decades or many years together, and everything was in equilibrium condition, and when the wants or the demands are exceeding, and when the equilibrium started disturbing due to the ambitious goals of human being, then the real disturbance started, which is in the form of various kind of pollution, damages, deforestation, soil erosion. All these problems are the outcome of the extraordinary requirement of human being. That's why all these problems today we are facing, which is mainly due to the disturbance happened to the equilibrium condition. So along with the components, we will be studying about the importance of environment, how it is playing a critical role in the life of human beings. And second important part is about the principles of conservation. There are important principles all over the world. The principles are followed. One is about the preventive strategies are the preventive principle, which is aimed to prevent any kind of pollution or any kind of damages happening to the environment. Second important part is about the polluter pay principle, which is nothing but the damage caused. So who is responsible for the kind of damages taking to the environment? He or she has to bear the cost, the damage happened to the environment. Third one is the integration or integrative principle, where each and every policy need to take care of the environmental conservation. So whatever the different plans the government has to do, it should include the principles related to the environment conservation. So these are the 3 important principles which is related to the conservation and followed all over the globe. And next important part is about the impact of deforestation. What are the rate of deforestation taking place all over the world and especially in India and state-wise, and what are the kind of impact it is taking to the environment, trees, biodiversity, flora, fauna. All these impact will be studied in detail in the impact of deforestation. And another important subject is about the forest fire, which is the quite a common phenomenon nowadays, especially during the summer time. So there are good mechanisms available to prevent, control these forest fire. So we will be studying in detail about the what is forest fire, types of forest fire, and how one can tackle the forest fire, and what are the advanced methods available to tackle the forest fire. And finally, with the various human activities like mining, construction and development projects, and how the population growth taking place in the entire globe, affecting the environment. So this topic will be studying about the various development activities, especially the human induced activities and how it is directly making an impact on environment. So followed by another important aspect, that is about the pollution, which is making the everyday news about the different types of pollution happening around the world. And pollution is not a problem of a single place; it is a problem for all. The entire globe is facing the problem. So the different types of pollution like water pollution, air pollution, and noise pollution, and recently the nuclear pollution. All these pollutions will be dealt in detail in the types of pollution. And second important aspect is about the global warming. I think everyone is aware about what is the global warming. The increase of temperature that is taking, and due to the carbon dioxide and other gases, increase of those gases, which is mainly the cause of global warming, and it is not a problem of a particular country. The entire globe is suffering to this global warming, and we will be studying the various kinds of impact due to this global warming and how it is affecting the life of people and affecting the biodiversity and affecting the other ecosystem, and what are the different strategies the different kind of countries adopted to deal with this global warming. And another important aspect is about the greenhouse gases. As I mentioned, this is part of global warming only. The carbon dioxide and so many other gases are responsible for that, and what are the different sources of greenhouse gases and how these can be tackled at the source itself. So various strategies we will be studying in these greenhouse gases. And another important type of pollution is about the acid rain. Acid rain and due to the mixing of gases in the atmosphere, and again which are fallen back in the form of rain. So many acids are falling to the earth in the form of rain, that is known as acid rain. So nitric acid and so many acids are responsible for that, and which is causing extensive damage to the ground vegetation, human being. So many damages are taking place. So we will be studying about the acid rain, its source, reasons, and how it is making impact, and how to control this acid rain. The all will be dealt in detail. And finally, the environmental monitoring, which is another important aspect. And what is the role of environmental monitoring, and what is actually environmental monitoring, and how it is helping the policy makers. So these details will be dealt in environmental monitoring. What are the different parameters that are actually monitored to ensure the healthy environment, so that the policies can be modified or changed. And the concept of sustainable development. So sustainable development is nothing but the without affecting the interest of future generation, how we are managing the resources. So the present generation should enjoy, and the future generation should also enjoy the equal benefits what the present generation is enjoying. So that is the concept of sustainable development, and three important aspects are covered here. One is about the social and environment and economic. So all these three aspects need to be considered while designing or while describing the sustainable development. And role of trees and forests in the environmental conservation. So using the biological resources, that is one of the best strategies to deal with the pollution. And there are so many research already conducted in the country which have given the list of trees which can able to protect the environment, like the trees used for preventing noise pollution, and trees help in preventing the air pollution, maybe absorbing dust and all. So these significant role of trees and forests, especially in conserving the environment, mainly preventing the pollution, will be dealt in detail. So after the role of trees and forests in preventing our strategy to deal with the pollution, next important aspect is about the control and prevention of air, water and noise pollution. So we'll be studying about the different methods available by using the modern methods or any other strategies to deal with the different types of pollution taking place, and followed by the environmental policy and legislation in India, and what are the existing policy which is supporting the environmental conservation, and followed by the legislation in India. We have Environmental Protection Act 1986, we have Water Act, we have Air Pollution Act, and also about the role of national green benches and how it's an important tool in dealing the different kind of pollution issues across the country. So all these policy and legislation issues will be dealt in detail. And about the EIA, that is the Environmental Impact Assessment. So this is an effective tool how a project can be decided whether to forego the project or to run the project, and after analyzing the complete impact of the project. So that is known as a environmental impact assessment, and so many agencies are actually involved in doing this study. So after doing this environmental impact assessment, it will be an effective tool for the government to decide, and also it will give the control mechanism once the project is implemented. So nowadays it's a very quite common to have a EIA for each and every major projects taking across the country. So we will be studying some case studies also about the EIA happened in some of the other areas. And the final one is about the economic assessment of watershed development. So what is the benefits one can get in the form of monetary benefits in terms of economic assessment of watershed development. Once the interventions are made in the form of various watershed development or doing water conservation structures, once the complete watershed is protected, what is the impact in terms of economics? So some case studies will be given to understand this subject in a better way. So dear aspirants, that's the end of environmental conservation and biodiversity, the most sensitive and which is always in the forefront in any of these crucial issues the entire world is facing about this environmental conservation and biodiversity conservation. And if you have any kind of doubts or queries, let me know in the comment section below. Please do subscribe this channel, and the PowerPoint version of this presentation of this session will be uploaded in the later stage. And thank you very much. Nandi Vanakkam.